What's up, my little Tattle Tells? How you doing today? Well, if you're Kanye West, baby, you should have sat there and ate your rice. You are being dragged, and rightfully so, for your ignorant comments. But y'all, it's not just the people in the cheap seats. Remember when Kanye said he don't want to talk to anybody broker than him, anybody less influential? He is being dragged by Gigi Hadid, Jaden Smith, Jordan Woods, Tremaine. The list goes on and on and on. And listen, they even went out so far as to call him out and saying he's clout chasing and using Virgil's name for death. And this has come from Virgil's inner circle, all right? And on top of that, what started all this? What started the demise of someone that literally had so much in front of him besides his own stupid things? I'll tell you, he thought because he came out, right? And he had some White Life Matter shirt. There was a woman at his fashion show who gave a very succinct and passionless, but very persuasive argument on art history and fashion history, historical history, and why she sees what Kanye was trying to do, but like everything, it didn't land, right? He thought he would go online and bully her. She's a Black woman, and I can see how Kanye thought, especially in the fashion industry, because they treated him so bad, like she might be unprotected. But baby, the fashion industry wrapped her in the cloak, protected her, and set Kanye right. Y'all, let's get into this mess, because listen, we got to talk about the Judas GOAT. Shout out to Tremaine and all the ways that Kanye has been perpetrating, using people's name for clout, if they can be believed. You know what? Let's just get into this mess. But before we do, go on and hit that like and subscribe button. You guys, don't forget today at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going live to talk about this SEC ruling against Kim, why Kanye thought he'd throw himself in front of a bullet for her. But you know what? I can't even blame this on Kim. This is Kanye, right? 8 p.m. we're gonna break it down on the live. We're getting financial analysts, and we are getting legal people to actually give you the real deal. All right, let's get into this. Now, hit that like and subscribe button too. Okay, you know I had to ask. Okay, now listen. Let's actually, for those of you who don't know the whole story, because you got to know the whole story, let me actually take you through it little by little by little. But it'll be quick, all right? It'll be quick, promise. Okay. So, who is this woman? The woman that Kanye decided to get on the internet and try to humiliate, try to bully, try to disrespect. First of all, Kanye decided to mobilize its fan base against Miss Gabriella Johnson. She's a fashion editor at Vogue. Now, why did he decide to single her out? Because of this video. She was sitting front seat at Kanye West's show. She's very influential in the fashion industry, and unfortunately, like Kanye decided, she is very, very loved and respected. Gabriella then went on to say, and she, first of all, she posted her real-time reaction in the front row. It wasn't just her. Jaden Smith walked out. A lot of people at that show were disgusted. They felt like violence had been committed. Of course, not physical violence, but mental violence. We'll get into that why. Because people that actually know historic history, art history, all the things Kanye claims to know, they understood what he was doing, and they understood why it was so dangerous and destructive, okay? So anyway, our girlfriend, Gabriella, literally read Kanye down in her Instagram stories. She said, my thoughts I share it with a friend. And she put screenshots, right? I'll put them up here if I can. I feel that he is not fully aware of the difference between appropriating BLM and subverting the Make America Great Again hat, although I disagree with his thesis there. I understand his idea that the hat was ready-made and its value was intrinsic in context, signature of the artist. When worn by Trump, it's racist, and when worn by Kanye, right, it's about liberation. We're getting into art, history, theory, of course, mixed in with fashion, right? This is very Duchamp, right? He neglected to realize the importance of object when he tried to extend that kind of subversion to the BLM slogan. All these things she's saying is 100% true. And anyone that's taken any history class, or anyone that just even has any type of sense can realize this. Ready-made stuff are meaningless. However, like she said, the importance of object. I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to illustrate a dystopian world in the future where whiteness might become extinct, or at least would be in enough danger to demand defense. Again, Black Lives Matter is not about the organization. Even though Kanye wanted to be like, oh, it's a scam. You're too stupid to even know what you speak about. It is a concept. It's a concept that our lives are so in danger that it needs defense. Kanye was trying to go into a post-dystopian world. She said, I guess I get what he tried to do. I thought it was Duchamp. So if you don't know, he's an artist, and he literally, he liked to wake people up with his ideas by taking common things such as urinals, coffee mills, sketches of nude, and putting them in new context that inspired the person to think and think and think some more. It's a very complex, right? Very complex form of art. I did dumb it down just for the purposes of this video, but I just want you to know Kanye did not do that. It was like, no. Anyway, he thought it was Duchampian. It wasn't, it didn't land, and it was deeply offensive, violent, and dangerous. She went on to say, but the danger is that this very premise, the idea that white supremacy is in danger of extinction. It's what justifies mass incarceration, murder en masse, indeed, even the advent of slavery. The idea that blackness must be snuffed out, for it will surely supersede whiteness in power and influence if given a chance. And it's hugely irresponsible to furnish the most dangerous extremists with this type of fictional narrative. Again, I would go one step further, and I think that Kanye is courting that. Kanye, I think in my head, has gotten in his mind that that's where the power is. And you have to be cool with that. You complain about being in the Kardashians and call them racist and discriminate and all this stuff about you. But yet you beg to be in their family, right? You complain about Adidas, Gap, everyone, but you beg to be a part of. Kanye, as much as he thinks he's a free thinker, has decided to lay down and play the game, because that's how you get ahead. Because in his mind, I do believe he thinks there's no true way a black person can ever hold as much power as an old white man sitting in the room. And when you think about that subconscious level he puts into his head, that glass ceiling, that's why you can't start your own thing, even though now you have the money and I don't know any more about the money, the resources, the backing, and all that stuff. But it's not over. We got to get into some more. She said the added layer of him having kids from his Don to school performing the soundtrack, it really felt like a divide between indoctrination and education, and it has never been finer. Basically saying that it looked like it was on some cult stuff, and it was actually disgusting having kids that had no free agency, having to follow your wayward discussion into art history, theory, and even free thinking. She said, I'm still processing, and there's some further investigation, interrogation that took place, but this is my gut reaction. She then said, it's become clear that some viewers think my previous post containing my working, evolving thoughts on Kanye's show was some sort of distorted justification for the incredibly irresponsible and dangerous act of sending White Lives Matter t-shirts down the runway. Please understand, it wasn't. The t-shirts this man conceived, produced, and shared with the world are pure violence. There's no excuse. There's no art here. I'm sorry I failed to make that clear. I thought I did. I do think if you asked Kanye, he'd say there was art and revolution, all the things in that t-shirt. There isn't. As we all work through the trauma of this moment, especially if those of us that suffered in that room, let's have some grace for one another, right? Fine. How did Kanye respond? Did he engage in any philosophical thought? This free thinker, did he do anything to actually address the very real things? And this is why I think Kanye, being a Gemini, is really upset. Because once she was sitting in the front row, her reaction was immediate. And Kanye knew he missed the mark. Not just defending her, but that it was very lazy intellectually. He tried to fly up to the sun of intellect, and he fell short. He knows he missed the mark. He knows that she saw in that moment that the emperor, when it comes to fashion theory, when it comes to subversion, when it comes to art, has no clothes. She saw it, she called it out, and that angered you, right? So what did Kanye do? Because he knows, right? He knows. I think he knows. He literally, and also a few people had some comics, right? He then posted Gabrielle on her Instagram to dox her. I'm 100%. He said, broke the processor. When the computer can't read the code, this is a droid, right? He broke the processor. Then he put a picture of her saying, this is not a fashion person. You speak on Ye, I'ma speak on you. Ask Trevor Noah. Kanye, you walking around in rhinestone flip-flops. Might I say, listen, watch your mouth, right? So then he posted another picture, zoomed in on the shoes. This woman read him down from a historical, revolutionary art, fashion, history perspective. Again, everybody thinks that Kanye's just wearing t-shirts, baby. There's art to this. But Kanye don't even know the art that he's proposing to push out, right? He said, I know Anna hates these boots. First of all, once again, Kanye West literally elevating, always preening for the white gaze, right? Always. Listen, he then went on to say, right? So you tried to mock and humiliate this woman, right? Just as others tried to mock and humiliate you. And I'm willing to bet you did that because you thought, I'm being serious, Black woman, she probably unprotected. She probably not got any friends. You know how many people, powerful people, famous people, and I'm not saying she's not famous or powerful. She's well known in the fashion industry, but the general public might not have an idea who she is. But do you know how many mass media people came at you, read you down? Most of the men, you didn't have nothing to say. But the one woman that you needed, you read her down because she gave her honest opinions. Mr. Free Thinker, because she gave her honest opinions. And you were mad about that. And you struck out at the person you thought would be the least likely to have protection, the least likely to have respect. But guess what, baby? You thought wrong. Because guess what? In an unlikely turn of events, but not really, because I will say the Hadid sisters, they go to bat. I hope they're not problematic, but I will say they are actually allies. Gigi Hadid jumped in and said, you wish you had 1% of her intellect. You have no idea. If there's actually a point to any of your ish, she might be the only person that could have saved you. Saying, again, these thoughtless masses, just like, yay, so deep. Read a book. You don't know what you're talking about. There is something in what Kanye's saying, but he is implementing it in the wrong way. It doesn't make any sense. He's missing key context. Again, I'm not going to break everything down into a very intellectual, theological argument, but those that know, know. But Gigi did rightfully point out, if there can be anything taken from your work from a historical art history perspective, right? She would have been the only person that could have saved you or given you a tangible argument, right, to justify. She said, as if the honor of being invited to your show should keep someone from giving their opinion. Lol, you're a bully and a joke. You're a bully and a joke. Kanye then responded, hold on, we're not over. Kanye then responded and said, spank my hand with the rulers, I'll go sit in the principal's office. Can't we talk about more important things like how late the show was or how Bernard Arnault killed my best friend? Everyone's got a right to an opinion. There's mine. You literally tried it, but you were too stupid to realize that everything changed since the pandemic. It's been a cultural reset. That's why you're losing relevance, Kanye. Cheney Jones dodged the bullet. That's why, and now I want to do a tell-all with Cheney. What did she endure that she was around this mofo? Let me tell you something. There has been a cultural reset. That's why Kanye's scared he's losing relevance. That's why Kim's scared, because the culture resetted and they didn't. And it was a worldwide reset. It doesn't matter if you were Black, white, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. The youth reset it. The Great Resignation happened. So many things happened. Kanye wasn't ready for that. And it shows with his dad jokes and his old man irrelevancy stuff, literally. Anyway, he said some important things, right? He tried to use Virgil's death for clout. But Tremaine, one of Virgil's day ones, was sitting on ready, waiting for Kanye. He said, I gotta draw the line that you're using Virgil's death in your Yay is the Victim campaign in front of your psychopath peanut algorithm gallery. You better drag. Your best friend Virgil, Negro, please. This time last year, you said Virgil's designs are a disgrace to the Black community in front of all your employees at Yeezy. Ask Lucette Holland. I got all the receipts. Don't let me get into the things you said about Virgil after his death. Yay, tell the people why you didn't get invited to Virgil's actual funeral, the one before the public one at the museum. You knew Virgil had terminal cancer and you rolled on him in group chats, at Yeezy, in interviews. You are so broken. Keep Virgil's name out of your mouth. Keep Gabriella's name out of your mouth. You're not a victim. You're just an insecure narcissist that's dying for validation from the fashion world. Take care. At least we always had Uganda. I said, oh. And guess what? You know who liked that post? Jordan Woods, Julia Fox, Offset, and Jaden Smith. What you call an icon living? Sorry, I made you laugh. I'm sorry, I love that. I am just an icon living. And he had his dad on the track. Woo! The icon is in the blood. I'm just an icon living. Anyway, right? All that happened. And then, just to hit it home, Tremaine posted on his stories about the Judas goat is a trained goat used in general animal herding. The Judas goat is trained to associate with sheep or cattle, leading them to a specific destination. In stockyards, the Judas goat will lead sheep to slaughter, while its own life is spared. Judas goats are also used to lead other animals to specific pens and onto trucks. They have fallen out of use in recent times, but can still be found in various smaller slaughterhouses in some parts of the world as far as conservation. Cattle herders may use Judas steer to serve the same purposes as the Judas goat. The technique with the term originated from cattle drives in the United States. This term is a reference to Judas, an apostle of Jesus Christ who betrayed Jesus in the Bible. Y'all, you can keep following Kanye if you want, right? Again, two things can be right at one time. When it came to that Kim and Kanye mess, Kim was wrong. When it comes to this mess that Kanye pulled, Kanye is dead wrong. And I'm glad everybody is calling him out. Y'all, listen, let me know what you think in the comments and I'll talk to y'all later. Stories developing. Make sure y'all see me at 8 p.m. Okay, anyway, bye.